up, everybody? My fellow Americans, people of the whole entire planet, people of Earth. Welcome to another episode of Biff. Let's get down to it. Primer version 2 dried up very nicely. Dried very fast, very nicely, so we got nice hard paint to work with now. Overall, I'm very happy with the primer job. If there's any imperfections in here, it's not in the primer, it's in the bodywork underneath it. And we still have block sanding to do on this whole thing, so we'll block sand it out, and that will also help with any of the bodywork imperfections that we have underneath. But overall, right now, I'm very happy with the way that the body is, and if it has to go like this to SEMA, I'm cool with that, man. So, we need to work quickly because the goal is to get this car out of the booth today so they can start working on the rear diffuser, cut up the back end, and a bunch of stuff like that. So I gotta get this thing out of here, but before I can get it out of here, there's still some stuff I need to paint black. So this goes back to black right here. This needs to go black right here, and the same on the other side. Then this goes flat black inside here. So this needs to be remasked. That all needs to come down to here. And that goes our matte flat black. So I need to, what I need to do right now is grab some sandpaper, sand this up so it's real nice and smooth. Now the cool part about this is we don't have to mask anything off. We just spray the black. It's gonna get over here and stuff like that. That's not a problem at all because the wrap covers that part up. So, and any part it doesn't cover will be black like we want it to be. So basically I just gotta sand it up, clean it with prep ball, and then we will be ready to mix up some of the black, put it in the detail gun, and then we're gonna have to spray 2 coats onto our primer right here. One important thing is also the primer is in its recoat window, so we can spray paint on it without sanding it, but we still want to sand this stuff down and make it even smoother. Our trim all sanded up, so that's all nice and smooth. This was already smooth, so that's all good. I hit everything with prep ball, except I just touched it right there. So I'm gonna go put some gloves on, clean that off one more time, and then we're gonna spray the black right here. The car is painted up, and I'm going to show you that in a little bit, but we're letting it dry right now. Moving on over here, Eric has grabbed the DA sander, and he's going to use some low grit sandpaper to take out a few of the little, like, really hard to see high spots in this thing so we can get it exactly perfect. And this thing is basically done until we build the mounts to attach to our frame. Front splitter is now done, except for the we're gonna build some mounting points and weld some stuff onto the frame right here to mount it to the car. But other than that, that's done. We're moving on to the rear diffuser, but the car is still drying up. So we're gonna go over to the car. We're gonna wrap up some measurements real quick, and then we're gonna cut some stuff out of cardboard to kind of figure out some sizing things. What I'm showing you on the screen right now is what we're aiming for when we're trying to build this diffuser right now. So we're figuring out our little small slat pieces and how big they're gonna be. We've decided against cutting everything out of cardboard. We don't need to mock it up. We know exactly what we're doing. We used measuring instead. So we're gonna go ahead and start cutting right now. All right, we got all the pieces cut for the midsection of our rear diffuser, so Eric's gonna go ahead and weld them in. It's basically a piece here and here to get us started, and then we got 2 more on the other side. Meanwhile, I've been over here working on the door. This is our door that's not in that bad of shape, and it's in pretty bad shape, and also the epoxy primer is sanding terribly, so that's a bummer. But I'm just gonna have to do my best and work my way through it. So I'm working on that door for now. I'm gonna lay up some more body filler and then bring in the other door. And while I'm doing that, Oscar's gonna work on cleaning up the engine as much as he can. We're trying to get this thing to look pretty presentable for SEMA, but it's gonna be kind of hard. We can't order anything special, so anything that we make to hide wires or cover anything has to be made in-house. So it'll be a little bit tricky, but we're gonna do our best. All right, quick update. The main section is built and Eric's gonna go ahead and put the last little side plates on there, and that houses our exhaust right in there. So it's gonna kind of look like that. When you look at the car from the back, it should look like that. Which actually looks very nice, I think. And Oscar is just, continuing. Actually, our exhaust resonator is longer than that too. Anyways, Oscar's continuing to work away at cleaning the engine. It's looking much, much nicer already. There's still some work to go. And I went and bought some better sandpaper, so I'm gonna rip into that sanding over there. The center section of the diffuser is built. It looks fantastic. So it's time to bring the car in so we can continue building the rest of the pieces. So we're gonna head over to the paint booth, unwrap the car, and install the struts, and then roll it in here. All right, we got the car in the shop. Now we need to make a cut on this back bumper. So we're removing that area, coming straight across here, and then back down. That's our spot for our diffuser to live, and then we'll figure out how we're gonna set this diffuser up, and that's gonna measure out where we go on the sides as well for our end caps. So I think I'm gonna get the laser level, and we're gonna run a laser from there to there, and we'll mark it out and grab the cutoff wheel, give it the chop. Better not screw this one up or else it's gonna look real dumb at SEMA. This looks a little bit more high-tech than BS for Build usually is. It's because it is. So we drew a laser that runs from a noticeable area over here to over there, and now we are tracing it out on masking tape that's gonna make our cut line. That's Eric right there with a laser on his head. All right, the lines have been made. Eric's gonna grab the cutoff wheel and go ahead and cut our bumper out so we can make room for our diffuser. All right, we've got our section cut out of the rear bumper, so now it's time to proceed with building the rear diffuser. We're gonna mount that right in the center. We're not gonna mount it right now, but we'll probably mock it up using some boxes or other stuff right there in the center. And then, like we saw in the picture, it drops down, goes across, and it's gonna connect up on the sides here. Over here, Oscar's continuing working on beautification of the engine. And we have our, these hoses used to go this way and kind of come out here in a really awkward way, and they didn't have a good ending. And then now they come back here towards the back of the firewall, and we got filters on them, which we had to run. And then the velocity stacks will come out here and kind of pin these down right here. So it's looking better and better and just getting more and more clean. We got our covers that go here and here that are waiting to be painted. We're just gonna paint those a matte black, and we're just trying to get this as good looking as we can because the velocity stacks are super, super shiny looking, and the rest of the engine is kind of well, it looks 10 years old because it is. Continuing on with the diffuser. All right, well, we are very, very happy with this center section. You can see how the frame rails kind of come through the car right here, and the outside of this, just out of pure luck, tends to match up right there. What the hell was that? Some metal fell behind me. Anyways, it matches up, so we're gonna be able to bolt into the frame rail there, and then our fuel cell supports down here and here are gonna be able to bolt into that back there. So that's gonna be how we're gonna do our supports. This is how our exhaust is going to look, and it's all coming together. So now, if we look at the blueprints and how we have it, we're gonna go from here, curving piece down, and it's gonna end around here, a little bit further forward than that section, and then we're gonna build a piece that connects from there to there. All right, we got our side pieces cut, but we hit a bit of a barrier. When I originally designed this, it was with the Rocket Bunny over fenders on here, and those kind of stopped around here, so there was no, interference with the design for this, which kind of starts here and comes down around here. But with these pieces, it's not these pieces that have anything to do with it. It's our new over fender in the rear. It goes way, way, way down to here, and it actually kind of covers some of this stuff up, which means that we have to start kind of further out. And it gets in the way of stuff. So we can't finish building these until we have our over fenders fully bolted on. We can see exactly where they land, exactly what they do, and then we can get these cleaned up and figure out how much we need to trim them and stuff like that to place them in the right area. So that's our diffuser for now. We'll build mounts and stuff. On Friday, we'll get those wide body kit pieces mounted on the car, and then we'll build mounts for the diffuser onto the car right here, and then we'll finish off those side pieces and connect it all up. But for tonight, that's a wrap. Hi guys, well today marked 8 days left until SEMA, and clearly we didn't get a whole lot of stuff done. It started off really good, but then to be really honest with you guys, I got fed up with doing body work. My sandpaper was getting totally gummed up because the epoxy primer is a total pain in the ass to sand. The epoxy primer version 1, not version 2. The one that's on the car is easy to sand. The one that's on the doors, which I was working on earlier, was not very easy to sand, and I got really annoyed and just sat around and drank beer for the rest of the night. So we're a little bit further behind. Tomorrow will be 7 days until SEMA. And we have a lot of stuff to continue building, to finish building, and we're all starting to get a little bit worried, but we just got to keep working forward and getting good sleep, and then each day we're not going to panic and work all-nighters until we know that we have to. I think that's the right way to do this. So tomorrow, Chelsea and I are going to come in here and build window louvers. We've done it quite a few times before, but this time I'm going to try and make them even better than we've ever had before, now that we have actual studs coming out the hatch. So stay tuned for that. Please tune in tomorrow. If you like BS for Build, head over to bsforbuild.com. Check out our merch line. If not, just hit that subscribe button and follow us on Instagram. We're BS for Build on there, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace!